Hi, this is Cathie and Philip Young. We're the founders of Cancer with Compassion, and we thought we'd answer the request of several folks who wanted to know how Cancer with Compassion got started. Or a question that I get often is, how did this thing get started? How did it start happening? So we thought we would tell it to you in a very short
I got the word short. Yeah.
little video. Well, I think he needs to remind me as well. It was 2011. I had been diagnosed in December, actually December 8th to be exact, with invasive lobular carcinoma stage B. It was a complete devastation and shaking us to the core when we got that surprise. And in a doctor's office, I remember Philip and I were sitting there and we heard the words, "You have cancer," and it felt like the floor had just dropped out from underneath us. And I didn't know what we were going to stand on, quite frankly, except our faith in God. It was a year of a great treatment. Lots and lots and lots of treatment. I first had a double mastectomy, then 6 months of tough chemo. It was tough, wasn't it, Philip?
It really was.
It really was tough. And then 6 weeks of daily radiation, some surgeries, and then a hormone blocker, a medication that I've been on for the last 9 years or so. It was just the following year in 2013 that I sensed the Lord want me to focus on the fact that this terrible cancer, the worst thing that had ever happened for us, should really count for more than just Philip and me. It should be more than just helping to make us better people. It should be for the sake of others. So we took a cue from God. He gave us the idea, and we put a yard sale sign out in the front yard. It didn't say yard sale, but it did say faith-based cancer support. This Thursday, 10 a.m. Now, we expected that a few people would come and join us, but we didn't expect the number that did. It was 25 people, mostly from the neighborhood. It introduced us to certainly my people group, the people that I would love and understand the rest of my life. It also convinced us that there's a lot of people with cancer out there who are living in isolation. And that just broke our hearts, and we didn't want that to happen. So we started that faith-based group down in Southern California when we were living there before retirement. And that group is still thriving years later. When we moved up to Central Oregon as we retired, we are retired, aren't we, Philip?
Sort of.
We decided to plant that cancer support outreach here in Central Oregon. Well, it was great until pandemic time, and then we had to go Zoom, and we found out that God had intended us to do our support groups via Zoom, because then we could have people from New York or California or Florida or Montana or Colorado or Idaho,
or internationally.
That's true. He's reminding me that one woman who had been in our Southern California group had visited Taiwan right before the pandemic, and she was stuck in Taiwan for quite a while, and she joined us a couple of times. And so we're grateful. We're grateful for, yes, our international folks.
Of course, she has to get up at 4 a.m.
Had to get up at 4 a.m. And her daughter, who was on our Southern California group, made sure that Mama brushed her hair before she came on the group. Anyway, we've loved this outreach and this ministry for, let's see, that's 7 years, Philip. And we wouldn't be doing anything else. We love people who have cancer, and we're convinced that God loves people who have cancer. And we just want this ministry to grow, not for the sake of numbers, but for the sake of reaching out to those people that are isolated with cancer that I spoke about earlier, because cancer is an extremely isolating disease. And we want to be there for them at in-person support groups when we're able to do that again. But we also want to keep the offering of Zoom, because it helps people that are maybe too sick to come to a group, or just geography is bound. And so we're anxious to make sure that that still stays alive for them. So was that informative?
I think so. I really like that picture you have right here, though, of us when we were a little younger.
Philip's talking about this picture that I keep with me in my workstation here at Cancer with Compassion. Let's see if I can get it that about there. It's kind of fuzzy, but that was us when we were younger and thinner. At least I was thinner. Philip stayed the same weight, which I hold against him even now. And that was when we were assisting a couple who had gotten married, and Philip was their
Chauffeur, I think.
chauffeur,
Yes.
and I was their bridal bouquet carrier, which was a very important job. Anyway, that's John and Reedy Redmond. If you watch this, we still have this photograph and we hold it dear. It reminds Philip and me about the incredibly great times that we have had in our marriage. And then it also talks about the fact that not all the times were as great and glorious as that. Some of them were really hard and really tough. And I was fortunate enough, blessed enough to have my husband Philip as the one that kept me going. In fact, he had a phrase during that time. Do you remember what it was, Philip?
We are we.
We are we. A way of saying that I didn't have cancer, we had cancer. I was not affected by this disease. We both were affected. And we were in it together, weren't we, Philip?
Amen.
And I pray you have someone like that in your life if you're a cancer patient, whether it's a spouse or a child or a sibling or a next door neighbor or a friend or even a work colleague, someone that will lift you up and keep you going when the times get tough. And they do get tough when you have cancer. Anyway, that's how we got started all those years ago. And we hope that's of at least minimal interest to you to have us do this video. And we hope that you'll watch some of our other videos or sure be in touch with us on cancerwithcompassion.com, our website. And if you want a free book that I wrote a number of years ago on basically a memoir from my journey through the cancer storm called Gold in the Road, it's free for every cancer patient that asks for it. God bless you. God bless you, Philip.
God bless you, Cathie.
Thank you.